Welcome students to Opinion Writing, Lesson 6, Adding Facts. Today we are going to be adding some facts into our persuasive writing as a means to make our arguments more persuasive. I want you to remember that the purpose of persuasive writing is to convince your audience to change his or her mind so they can have the same opinion as you. Some methods are better than others when trying to convince somebody to change their mind. I would like to tell you about two little girls who both wanted something. The first girl's name was Judith, and she loved earrings and really wanted her parents to let her get her ears pierced. The second girl's name was Sophia, and Sophia really wanted a giraffe. You'll notice that both of these girls use a different approach to try and persuade their family to get them what they want. Let's first look at Judith. Judith starts by asking her parents very nicely, and they say no. Then she reminds them that she has a birthday coming up very soon, and it would be a great present. They say no. Then Judith cries big crocodile tears, partly because she's upset, but more so because she wants her parents to take pity on her sadness and change their minds. This is part of her strategy to persuade her parents to agree with her opinion that she should get her ears pierced. They say no. Her next idea is to get on her knees and beg, like really beg. They say no. Judith's next move is to start screaming and yelling. This is because she is upset that her strategies to convince her audience are not working out so far, but she's also hoping to show them how important this is to her and what it's doing to her not to be able to have the earrings. They say no. Judith wipes the tears out of her eyes and uses her best idea yet. She promises her parents that if they let her get her ears pierced, she will play with her little brother every day and walk the dog every day for 1 whole year. They say no. Judith's story ends with her not getting her ears pierced, and her parents feeling very distressed, as you can see from the picture. Let's take a look at Sophia and what she does to try and persuade her parents to give her what she wants, which is a little crazy because she wants a giraffe. Sophia's smart because she probably already knows if she asks her parents for a giraffe, they will say no. So before she even asks, she thinks of a reason that could possibly convince or persuade her parents that a giraffe would be a great idea. She says, "I would like a giraffe," she said, "because they burn less gasoline, so they meet federal regulations better than the cars we use now. In the last 50 years, no giraffes have been recalled for defective parts, and newer models have a particularly strong safety record. Also, giraffes have not been shown to be the cause of any major diseases. Giraffes are legal in all 50 states." She gives 4 reasons to help persuade her parent to get a giraffe. They say no. Sophia then brings a map of her neighborhood to her family, showing the routes that she would take with the giraffe to the ballet class, and she includes to mention how convenient the giraffe's height would be in dropping her off to the 2nd floor of the building. They say no. Sophia gets back to the drawing board. She thinks of another idea. She knows her family loves the earth and tries to think of an argument that would perk their attention. Sophia comes back and explains her reason to support her opinion that she should get a giraffe. "Giraffes," said Sophia, "are a good source of manure, which can be sold at a profit to garden centers and activists. Her family says no. She takes a poll by asking people, or they might be her toys, if they agree that she should have a giraffe. The results are favorable. That means others agree with her. Maybe this will persuade her family that they are being unreasonable. She takes the survey to them in hopes. They say no. So she makes pie charts, compiles individual responses from community members, and draws a very persuasive picture so her family can see her vision. But they still say no. In one last desperate attempt before her birthday, she goes to give her grandma, the head of the family, a foot rub and asks, "Please?" Grandma says, "Okay." And sweet, smart, thoughtful Sophia gets her giraffe. My question is, do you think she would have got a giraffe if she just went to her family and said please the first time? Or do you think all the reasons, examples, and facts help persuade them? I'm guessing Sophia would have been denied flat if she had not given such great persuasive reasons. Comparing these two stories, which girl do you find more persuasive and why? One thing that Sophia had that Judith did not was facts. She gave facts such as giraffes don't burn as much gasoline as cars, they meet federal regulations better than cars, and that giraffes are legal in all 50 states, along with much more. Judith does not have any facts. Judith is much less convincing than Sophia. Today, your assignment is to find some facts, either from the internet or maybe your family has some fact knowledge they can share, and add some facts into your reasons. Since you want to make sure each of your 3 reasons are strong and convincing, pick a different reason than last week. For example, last week I told about my personal experience with reason number 1. This week I should add facts to either reason number 2 or 3. Let me see which reason would be best to add facts to. Reason 2 says not having a big chunk of time away from learning will avoid summer slide. And reason number 3 talks about how parents have to go to work and sometimes have difficulty finding childcare. I think I'm going to go with reason number 2 because I feel like I can find more facts that can support how students' academics fall behind during the summertime. Here are 2 articles I found on the internet. The first one says that the National Summer Learning Association reported that students who take standardized tests at the end of summer break typically score lower than those who take the same test at the end of the school year. It goes on to say that summer slide can even be responsible for students losing up to 2 months of academic progress. The second article is from a report by David Quinn and Morgan Polakoff, and it states that one study using data from over 500,000 students in grades 2 through 9 found that students on average lost between 25 and 30% of their school year learning over the summer. I think that both of these articles have some very strong and convincing details I can add to my reason number 2. Your assignment. Your assignment is to choose one of your 3 reasons to add fact details to. Don't pick the reason you chose last week for the personal experience details. Research some facts that support your opinion. Don't forget to mention where the facts came from. That way people know you're not making them up. and then use the facts to add to your reason paragraph. An example of my homework. So the opinion that I had is schools should teach students year-round. My reason number 2 is the one I'm focusing on for this assignment. I'm going to ignore reason 1 and reason number 3 this week. Not having a big chunk of time away from learning will avoid summer slide. So I've done some research. I've found some facts that I can include in my persuasive writing to help be very convincing. So my fact details are: teachers know all too well the kind of damage that summer can do to the academic progress of students after summer months. We don't deny the benefits that summer can bring, but are all those months out of school worth it? The National Summer Learning Association reported that students who take standardized tests at the end of summer typically score lower than those who take the same tests at the end of the school year. This clearly shows the loss of knowledge students experience over the summer. David Quinn and Morgan Polikoff completed a study using data from over 500,000 students in grades 2 through 9, which found that students, on average, lost between 25 to 30% of their school year learning over the summer. Is it worth such a large loss of academic gain to have a few weeks of no school? Not to mention all the wasted time reviewing last year's material the first month back? My answer is no, it's not worth it. Let's make schools a year-round experience and not lose what we worked so hard to gain. So there's an example of what your homework should look like when you submit it to me. And you can include where it says my opinion, my reason number. You get to choose that reason. Please don't choose the one you used last week. And then my fact detail.